Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Now, Sunday is Remembrance Day, and it's also the day that Bishop Terance Baynes will be hosting the 911 Emergency Prayer for Tobago, Volume 4, We Wrestle. The prayer event, which features Bishop Sheldon Holder, Reverend Winston Mansing, and Bishop Andrew John, will be held at St. James Park in Scarborough from 5 p.m. This morning, I welcome Bishop Terance Baynes to the Now Morning Show. Good morning to you, sir.
A very pleasant good morning to you and to all the viewers of this great network. How are you?
So far, so good. How are you doing this morning?
Well, we give thanks for life, and we are grateful that we have another opportunity to make a contribution to the development of mankind.
Tell me, any particular reason that you chose Remembrance Day to hold this event, this emergency prayer session?
In all honesty, I only learned about 3 or 4 days ago that it was actually Remembrance Day. I did not know at all.
So it was a happy coincidence.
So happened. Yes.
All right, tell me what inspired, this is the 4th one that you're doing, right? So tell me what inspired you to start these sessions.
Right. I'm sure you are aware of the challenges that we are facing in Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
It is not commonplace for us, and crime and violence nowhere is commonplace really. But Tobago is a kind of acute situation because, of course, of how small we are and what we are accustomed to, and so on. So I just felt that there was need for some kind of additional spiritual intervention, because I know that there are several entities that are engaged in prayer as part of their own routine and so on. In the month of January, I guess in my capacity where I sit, because of course I am a member of the executive of the THA as well, and knowing what the government has been doing to try and improve the environment, to try and give opportunities and options to our people, knowing what a lot of the other faith-based organizations are doing, NGOs are doing, and the other stakeholders in the society doing their best to add to this kind of environment that we want to provide for everybody to thrive and for people to enjoy the Tobago life experience. And when we saw this excessive amount of violence, especially gun-related violence and so on, and just the overall lack of sensitivity to human life and how people treat each other and so on, and that is added to some of the other social challenges that we are facing as an island. And I felt it was necessary for us to initiate this type of activity. I have been a churchman for over 3 decades, and prayer, as you know, is something that is commonplace. But I felt that there was need for us to do this type of encounter to try and meet face to face with the challenges that we are facing on the island here in Tobago.
Now, Bishop, I have to interject here. You mentioned that you've been a churchman for 3 decades now, right? And I really am curious as to, have you seen any change in, for example, the attendance at church in the last 3 decades? Is that directly related to the levels of crime that we're seeing, you think?
Well, the thing is, the Bible did give us some insights of what the end time would be like as it relates to human life in general. And so Trinidad and Tobago is not exempt from what we can expect in the end times. However, though, those of us who are part of this fraternity, I should call it, are given the responsibility to be much more vigilant. In other words, to be more innovative, to be more active, to find other ways and means to continue to get the message out, so that people could have that option if they so desired.
Yeah.
So as it relates to your direct question, churches have been affected significantly. We could have blamed um, COVID-19, for a certain period of time and so on. In fact, many of the church prognosticators were saying that there would be this massive conversions on church buildings and places of worship post COVID-19, but that really we did not see that manifested. So I think it has a lot to do with people's uh, personal choices and decisions and so on. And if you don't have some kind of spiritual grounding and some kind of spiritual direction, you become easy prey, or you find yourself becoming prone to some activities that are not convenient.
Most definitely. I would have to agree with you there. Tell me what the turnout has been like for the first three of these sessions that we've had so far.
Right, right. Well, I don't know if you have any reference of church at all, but if you have, or if you talk to anybody, when you talk about church activity in general, the prayer meetings are somebody least attended. That is a given. That is not, and that is global. However, the potency of the action is not in any way diminished by the numbers. I will say though that I was very encouraged when we had the very first one. It was in the month of January, I think January 12th, if I'm not mistaken, and we had a significantly encouraging turnout, both of congregants and church leaders in the Tobago space. Um, and it was at that meeting, because I will be honest with you, when I had the first one, I did not foresee that we would be having a second one and a third one. You understand? Because at the time, I thought that this was a kind of preemptive move to treat with the climate at the time. You understand? It was because the kind of criminality and violence that we were exposed was a kind of shock to the Tobago space. You understand? And I remember that I was spoken to by one of the leaders after we ended the event, and he said, this cannot and must not be a one-off event. And as I was inspired later on, because the other one we had it in the month of August, um, and of course the turnout has continued to grow since we've been having them, and so I am very thankful for those who see this as something that is important and give encouragements and so on, and are part of what we have been doing.
Well, Bishop, they say where two or three are gathered. That's all we need. But it's also very encouraging because the criminals don't take days off. They don't take a break. So they keep doing their work,
That is the
and we
truth.
have work to
That
continue
is the
doing.
truth.
So, yes, I encourage you to keep
Indeed,
doing
sir.
as many of them as possible. Just
Yes, sir.
remind folks before we wrap up this morning where it's happening, when it's
Right.
happening, and how they can be a part of it.
Right. So it's happening this Sunday at the James Park, Upper Scarborough, and we begin at 5 p.m. And it promises to be a great event. We have extended invitations formally to the chief secretary, the entire executive, to the members of the minority council. We have extended invitation written to them, Mr. Duke, all the people that are at that level. We have extended invitation to the leaders of the police service to join us. We have extended invitation to the entire population of Tobago who think that this is something that is important to come on out and be a part of what we are doing. It is not a formal religious event. It is a prayer meeting. So we're going to take time to pray both for the officials and for individuals who may have particular prayer concerns. And of course, we'll be praying for the entire Tobago, and by extension, the country that we call Trinidad and Tobago. So it's this Sunday, 5 p.m., James Park, Upper Scarborough.
Just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, is there a cost to attend this?
Brother, if we reach to the stage where we charge him to attend a prayer meeting, then that means that lightning and thunder should be cracking in the space.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best
Thank
on
you for the
Sunday.
conversation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. That's Bishop Terance Baynes representing the Victory Place International Worship Center. They have their 911 emergency prayer meeting for Tobago happening this coming Sunday. It's Volume 4, titled We Wrestle Them. We're going to wrestle down those criminal elements with prayer. We take a quick break and we come back with your birthdays on the Now Morning Show.